Oh, the suspension is so good. This is good suspension. Oh my god. So this is the menu, and there he goes. He's ridden the African Twin before. It's kind of cool seeing somebody riding your bike. Oh my god, this bike sounds so good. Comfortable. The position on it is just so nice. Oh yeah, this has got power. Oh, this sounds so good. I love the way this sounds. Wow. Oh my god, it's got a gear indicator. Oh, I hit the... Wow, that sounds really good. My bike looks so rinky-dink compared to this. You know, this is the problem with riding other people's bikes, is that you're going to, oh my god, I need one of these. I need one of these bikes. What does the menu do? He's getting used to the bike. It takes a while to get used to the bikes, you know. Oh man, I just love this thing. The way it lugs is just so much more fun. It's pretty hot. This bike does get pretty hot as well, but man, the way this thing just makes power is so... I love the sound. The way you sit on it too is that the tank is just so high up and it's flared out. On mine, the gas tank is really low. I guess back in the day they would have everything a little bit lower, but this doesn't feel like it's top heavy. There we go. This car's moving to the right. It's incredible. You hear this exhaust so well in the cockpit that it makes riding so much more enjoyable. I see why people get the Ducatis. Yeah. I want to rev this thing. That's the crazy thing about this bike is that, wow. Touring mode, I want to put it in sport mode, is much more powerful. This has got 160 horsepower. My bike has got 60 horsepower. This one's got 160 horsepower. Wow, look at her. I bet she notices my bike. Oh man, this bike feels really good. I never even thought about getting a Multistrada, but man, this feels great. Oh, my bike looks so rinky-dink. My bike looks so rinky-dink from the back. He's like, does this thing shift? My god, this thing. I want to put it on sport. Touring. Do I have to hold it? Close throttle. Okay. Alright, I think I'm on sport. Hey, buddy. Wow. Man, that sounds awesome. Finally, you just have to close the throttle for it to change. Downshift. Yeah, my bike doesn't handle as good as this, by far. Yeah, you know, I'm used to the African Twin. I'm used to the way it behaves and everything, and it's just incredible. Yeah, this sound sound is insane. This thing gets so hot around the legs as well. Yeah, this is crazy power. I just have to get used to riding this thing because it requires quite a bit more concentration than mine to go around a corner. It's like 80 kilometers per hour is like nothing. Oh, he's taking off. Surprisingly, the Africa Twin, you know, honestly, it looks goofy with a top case. Those Givy top cases, yeah, not good looking. Nice. Man, thanks for letting me ride this thing. It is just so torquey. So freaking torquey. Look at it. Oh my god, this thing. I can understand why people love the Ducatis. When you ride this thing, it just, there's a certain je ne sais quoi about this bike. My bike is so narrow compared to this. Everything about it is so narrow. This is a 2016, that's a 1995. Back in the 90s, it seems like the bikes were shorter, the gas tank is lower. I mean, just look at where the filler here is on this bike. It's above my belly button, actually like all my lungs. But it also has much better wind protection. If this feels sportier, the suspension is so good. It's like I'm like hovering over the stuff. You know, it makes me go like, oh, you know what? I need to get my suspension looked at. Sometimes that's what it takes. You come from an old bike like mine and you get on this, it's like, oh my god, what a difference. What a freaking difference this is. The way the clutch engages is a little bit strange. It feels like there's some resistance. It's a medium pull. The clutch is, it's not as easy as a lot of bikes. It's a little on the heavier side. But this bike feels like a machine, you know, like on some bikes. A lot of the Japanese stuff, it is true. You get on those bikes and it feels like you're riding an appliance. But with the Ducati, it feels like you're really in a machine that's got this very unique character. I don't know how they managed to do this, but if you imagine the art that Italians are known for, they have a certain pride in art and beauty that's not what the Japanese are known for. The Japanese, their art is not like the Italians. You know, I would say that the Italians and the Greeks, they have the best art mankind has ever seen. And it feels like the Italian bikes and cars are much the same. It's a feeling, you know, like when you ride a bike and it has its own character, its own individual character. I feel like that's what this bike is all about. It doesn't feel like it's a bike that was made in an assembly line, even though maybe it was, but it feels much different than any other bike I've had or ridden. The motor of this, of course, is an L-twin. Ducati's known for this twin. It's got a chain drive. It doesn't have a single-sided swing arm like a lot of the Ducatis. And the motor makes 160 horsepower. Just my Super Tenere made, what is it, 120 or so? Which is incredible. I mean, this thing to ride is just so much more fun. I could ride this thing all day, and it's got comfort. It's a comfortable bike. The seat is not soft like my bike. It's soft, but yet hard at the same time. So I think it's the stock seat. We're comparing like the Africa Twin to this. I mean, this thing, it feels so narrow. It looks narrow compared to this. Very stable at like low speeds too. It does want to squirt out of corners. It feels like it just wants to power right through. But I do grab like a handful of throttle on this thing, and it does well. It doesn't spin out. I'm having a blast. You know, my cousin has ridden my Africa Twin before, because when we rode Karamulu, and then I rode his Harley. So much more difficult to ride the Harley. The Harley's a whole different style of riding. What is happening? It is taller, but not by much. The Africa Twin, I can flat foot. But look at this, you got these crazy crash bars, and it's easy to get into neutral. Look at this big screen up here. So you have a fuel light, you have a gear indicator, you have your speed, your mode, you have the fuel, you have the temperature for the bike, your consumption. I haven't even seen that. These are kind of small. Then you have your menu, buttons, you have a passing button, fog light, hazards, cruise control, turn signals, horn. This is the kill switch. I believe this is the heated grips right there. The lock, that's the start. I'm not sure what that is, but even the mirrors are very distinctly styled, and even the mirror itself is a little bit darker. Zumo, that's the GPS that he has, but you see like the tank is like high up. It's actually like at my bottom rib. Very tall as far as the gas gauge, but then you have all the panniers. This bike doesn't even feel like it's got panniers on, because it's the way it handles is really smooth, but it's got plenty of power. And then if you want to go into the menu, you push this part. Now I can go into touring. Let's put touring, and then I hit click and hold, and now I'm in touring. There we go, switching to touring. I believe that the suspension, it's electronic suspension, so it should be a lot smoother. And then you also have urban, enduro, and I believe the engine medium, so you can change the engine. Front default, urban, sport, touring. So I am in urban right now. Whew, this thing gets hot. That's a wild bike. So I'm in urban setting right now. It's a little bit more of a delayed response to the throttle. bit more of a delay. I'm going to put it back on sport. So push and hold, and then close the throttle, and then open it up, and now it's on sport. So when you put in different modes, because it's electronic suspension, it takes some time to adjust the settings in the shocks, front and rear. So for sport, of course, is going to change it up. Touring might be the best for these settings because it changes the suspension. Very easy to change on the fly as well. See, the engine just decreased in RPMs as well. But even in touring, it feels good. Beautiful region. That's the Dodo River. You know, the seating position, the way your legs are, is more comfortable than the Africa Twin. I like this position a lot. It's like your feet are backwards, your knees are slightly down. I think that makes it much more comfortable to ride. Yeah, so that's the Ducati Multistrada 1200. You got crash bars. It's got all the nice stuff. It's got a monoshock, electronic suspension. Yeah, it's pretty fascinating. It's a really fun bike to ride. From the front, it's very iconic. Like the way it looks from the front is very different than most bikes. And this one is the Multistrada 1200 Enduro. Crash bars, fog lights, the sight glass, really nice bash plate. Center stand, which is nice. I wish I had a center stand on my bike. Yeah. And yeah, I love that the blinkers are integrated into the handguards. I think that's a great touch. I haven't ridden this at night, but look at the radiator guard. There's a radiator here, a radiator below, and then you have tubeless tires. This is what BMW does with their bikes as well, is put the spokes outward so they can use tubeless. That one uses tubes, and it's a pain if you get a flat. And the kickstand is just so easy to put on. It's like it requires no effort at all. It just springs back into place. Of course, you got that awesome luggage from Ducati. The tire's bigger than mine in the rear. This one is not a single-sided swing arm like a lot of the Ducatis, but I think it's stronger. And it's got ABS. The exhaust is so narrow, and that is a Termagoni exhaust. That sounds really good. And what is this?
The flat kit.
What is this?
Flat tires.
Oh, it's got a flat tire kit that comes with the Ducati brand, which is, you probably paid quite a bit for that.
No.
It came stock?
Stock and UBS.
Oh, you got like a 12 volt? And for heated clothes, I think, right?
Also like this, like in the BMW.
Oh, yeah.
Charger.
Okay, so you have a charger and a 12 volt.
Yeah, USB.
Yeah, this is the seat is really nice and comfortable.
Yeah, so I have the tools to take off the seat. Yes,
and where's the battery at? Yeah. Underneath the seat. How many gallon tank? Or a gallon?
I don't know.
Yeah, liters.
It's about 30 something. It gives
30 liters.
100 kilometers. One tank.
300. 500.
500.
Wow. Back to the old Africa Twin. Now, going from that thing to this, you're really going to see the...
You don't need the key to...
Oh yeah, this is keyless. Keyless entry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so much nicer. So these are things that this bike doesn't have. Look at this, so antiquated compared to the Multistrada.
Heated grips.
Heated grips, yeah.
It's already from because I bought touring pack, comes with heated grips. A small pouch here that I remove it, and these two bags. And just
Oh yeah, and you have a 12 volt up here too. Yeah.
This is also another kit. The Enduro pack comes with this.
Oh, the Enduro pack comes with the crash bars and the rally lights.
Lights.
Now, I had to downshift twice to keep up with him. Alright, I'm trying to catch him up with him. Oh man, I wish I knew he was going to gun it. Woo. That's a pretty darn fast bike. You know, the giveaway is that you hear that bike before it starts taking off. So that's a giveaway. Like, I know that he's about to like pass a car when I hear that exhaust just revving up. It's a tell. Look at how he's passing the car. It takes me a while to kind of spool back up, but cars actually move to the right to let you pass, which is interesting. Oh, that sounds good. Oh, this is awesome looking. Well, shout out to my cousin for letting me ride his awesome Ducati. I really appreciate it. And make sure you hit like, subscribe. That's the end of the ride for today. And of course, I'm going to see you guys on the next ride. Thanks for watching.